Yes.
So we are discussing about feed-forward network till now, right? But now there is one more network topology in ANN processing that is known as feedback network, right? So we have feedback network with us, two categories of feedback networks we are having recurrent networks and fully recurrent networks. So whenever in the network we have a closed loop of the feedbacks, that is known as a recurrent networks. And when we have a simple neural network, but all the nodes are interconnected and they are also having a feedback from input to output, that is known as a fully recurrent, right? And the other main processing unit of ANN that we all know, we are discussing from unit one, that is the activation function, which are actually the force or the effort through which we are getting the desired output from the input, right? And we have all these linear activation functions with us. We have a linear activation function, sigmoid, binary, bipolar sigmoid function, right? So these are the activation functions we have with us. Then what next we have after that? What is the definition of feedback networks and recurrent network and content addressable networks, right? So we have a feedback neural network with us, which is also known as a recurrent networks and a content addressable network. Right. So we have our inputs with us. We have these are the inputs, or we can say this is the input layer, and we have our input neurons here. Then after that, this is the hidden layer we have. These are also the neurons we have with us. And after that, this is the output layer, right? Now, when we have feedback from output layer to the previous layers, maybe hidden layer or maybe input layers, this is known as recurrent network. This is known as feedback network, right? This is also known as content addressable networks. Actually, what we are trying to have, we are trying to retrieve the real content where a real content is staying, right? We are not talking about the addresses of those content, but really that content lies where, right? We are talking about that identification of that same kind of pattern and where that lies in the memory where it lies, right? So it is also known as content addressable network, recurrent network, and feedback networks. This is what we are going to do now. Fine. Now, in this feedback network, very important network that we are going to cover is known as a hope-filled network, right? So, what is a hope-filled network? It is a form of recurrent artificial neural network invented by John Hopfield in 1982. It is a type of ANN. Serve as a content addressable memory system with a binary threshold unit. Two types of Hopfield network we have. We have a discrete and we have a continuous Hopfield network. Hopfield network have a scalar associated with the state of the network referred as the energy. Every time we calculate the energy from the output layer to the previous hidden and the input layers, and according to that we will change the weights, right? It may be a bipolar input or it may be a binary input, right? We may change that weight. That's what we have discussed in the previous sessions, that the idea is all how to adjust the weight in the network, because only then we are getting the correct output, right? So these are the things that we have with us, okay?